It's a Windows issues, improv, no script, no rehearsal, no plan. Bring your Windows computer troubles for the crew to blow smoke or ideas your way. Amp up your problem solving skills with us.
Good morning, it's 11 a.m. and some number of seconds after that on September 14th, 2024 on a Saturday. Good to see you all. We have confirmation from Pawel Novak, aka Commendatore, and I think his name in chat today, I didn't make a note of it previously. I think that's Petra Magda. I think, therefore I am.
John Williams said, "Hello, Doug."
Hello, John Williams. Pawel, would you confirm that you are Petra? Yes, he says, yes, it is, sir. All right, awesome. So let's get you started. If you would go into the description of today's video and come down to, let's see, one-time support session. Yeah, click on this link right here on your computer. That'll give you a download. It should just start downloading without clicking that link on the screen. In the upper right corner, you'll have to click on that download file to start the connection process. And in the meantime, I'm going to go deal with Ken Stout. Ay, caramba, the boy doesn't know how to follow instructions. He says here, once again, your link does not go where it says it's going. It just repeats the trailer. Sad. Well, if you're using the link in the description of the video, yeah, what you're supposed to do, Ken, when you're watching my intro, is this end card, this end screen right there. You're supposed to click on that to go watch the AC/DC video or ABDC, whatever, however you want to spell it. Oh, geez. Is he just messing with me? I just heard a ding. That means Pawel is coming in. So I'm going to bring that up on screen. Then I'm going to go deal with Brian Lightfoot's jokes. So over here, I'm going to click start. We'll get the connection established. Then we'll go back and deal with Brian Lightfoot's jokes. So Pawel, I'm going to click on this restart applet as system service. That's going to prompt you for an approval.
Ken Stout Live said, well, he who complains, I do not use my words well. Seems you did not say that in the link, and that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I did. Go back and listen to it. Listen with both ears this time. I know you usually are doing something else while my videos are playing. Yes, I did. So then let's see, I don't have the remote session yet. So Pawel, if you have some prompt on your screen wanting you to click allow or yes or something like that, go ahead and click that. There may be two of them. I'm going to keep my eyes on that till I see. I just saw something happen here. So I think it's coming in, probably a second item for you. Click on yes, and then launch remote control session. That should give you another prompt to respond to. Whoops, you're gone completely. Lost
Ken
connection.
Stout Live said, no, boop, 100% watch. I see a link I click. You know, much like that guy in Fresno who goes down rabbit holes, lol.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm not going to trace that down now. I think I have that thing right. So I'm going to click back here and launch remote control session again, because last time it did not work. You should have a prompt on your screen. There you go. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take that off screen and go respond to read Brian Lightfoot's jokes. I think I accidentally read two of them. I think there's three of them today. Yes, I see you there, Pawel, and I see you that you're watching me, and that's fine. You can go ahead and move those screens about as you wish for now. See, Dennis said he was listening to AC/DC Hell's Bells, and he said the original video is no better than 360. Yeah, you can set that video to all kinds of. I'm going to go ahead and click on this here and then pause it, and go to settings, and there's it goes all the way up to 2160 for me. I can't tell any difference in all of these resolutions from 360p and up. And I think that's what Dennis is saying there. The original official video is no better than the 360p. I agree. You can't add more pixels if they're not there. You can broadcast it in a higher resolution, but that just means you're seeing multiple pixels for each of the original pixels. So not going to be any better. Let's see, Brian Lightfoot. I want to hear Black in Black by ABDC. Here we go. Zoom in a little bit and get rid of those 3 dots menu out there. Tuesday, Ken and Doug went to a restaurant and ate dinner. When they were done, they paid for the food and left. But neither Ken nor Doug paid for the food. Who paid their bill? When they were done, they paid for the food and left. Tuesday, Ken and Doug went to a restaurant and ate dinner. When they were done, they paid for the food and left. Did they pay for the food, but that's not what they ate? That doesn't make sense. But neither Ken nor Doug paid for the food. Then who paid the bill? The restaurant did. Tuesday, Ken and Doug went to a restaurant and ate dinner. When they were done, the restaurant paid for the food and left? No. I don't know. I think you got me there. I think you got me there, Brian. Math teacher, you're going to have to Doug-splain it. Tuesday paid for the food.
Tuesday paid for the food.
Very good. Tuesday. That is Ken's on the side girlfriend named Tuesday. Tuesday, Ken and Doug went to a restaurant, ate dinner. When they were done, they paid for the food and left. Neither Ken. Got it. Got it. Very good. Math teacher, if I have 5 bottles in one hand and 6 in the other hand, what do I have?
Ken Stout Live said, yes, she is Filipina.
Oh, Tuesday is Filipina. All right. Yeah. If I have 5 bottles in one hand, 6 in the other, what do I have? Students has a drinking problem. I was wondering why the ball kept getting bigger and bigger. Then it hit me because it was coming right at him, getting bigger and bigger. Get it? Get it? Yeah, got it. Okay, so let's get over here to Pawel. I'm going to do a little bit of arrangement of the screen over here for Pawel and see how that does. Because when I bring his computer up on screen and he's watching YouTube, you guys are going to start seeing a mirror effect. So what I'm going to do is bring this down to a smaller size and hide it in the corner. Let's see, there it is. No, let me do this, Pawel. Let me do this. Because I have a specific plan here that should work out well for you. If it will work, it will move for me. It's really slow. Yeah, it's being very sluggish. Okay, Pawel, what I want you to do is shrink this window down and move it down to the bottom right corner of your screen so it can hide under my picture-in-picture. So I'm going to take you off screen while you do that. Shrink that. I can watch what you're doing. You go ahead and shrink that screen down. Move it down to the bottom right corner so it can hide under my picture-in-picture where it normally shows. And here you get an idea where my picture-in-picture normally shows. He's working on it. He's doing it. Very good. So I'll tell the story, since some people watching the video at this point might not be aware of why we're connecting remotely to Pawel's computer and what his predicament is. So I'm going to go back here to one of his earlier emails and explain it. Now, if anybody's got other topics, we're going to hold off on other topics or other questions while we work with Pawel and try to keep that in there. Okay, so hit a couple buttons there. I got to find the right email that introduces the topic properly. Not that one. So Pawel's YouTube channel was taken down. And what YouTube told him is that we've reviewed your content, found severe repeated violations of our community guidelines. Because of this, we've removed your channel from YouTube. We know this is probably very upsetting news, yada, yada. What our policy says, yada, yada. And then I'm going to take that off screen while I reposition this and be sure we're not exposing something that we don't want to. Yeah, we use a combination of automated systems and human reviews to detect violations. We have permanently removed your channel from YouTube. Going forward, you won't be able to access, possess, or create any other YouTube channels. Of course, he's connected to us with another YouTube channel right now. Well, that's because it's a different email address that he's using. And what he's told us is when he clicks on this appeal here button, it does not take him to the right place for appealing. It shows him something else. So we're going to go see that for ourselves. Let's see how we have the adjustment. Pawel, could you bring up that email on your screen that has the link in it for YouTube? And I see that that is still kind of big. So I'm going to, let's see, can I resize that
V Manor said, coffee mug with coffee?
Oh, yeah, the coffee mug is actually tea. Lemon and something, because my throat's kind of junky. Let's see, I'm looking to see, I see him showing, let's see, is this, that's not the YouTube. Okay, Pawel, the place where you're showing your
Read chat,
email,
please.
I want that to be big on the screen, not down in the bottom right corner. There you go. There you go. And there it is. That's it right there. And as I'm looking at your screen, I don't see anything on that that would be of concern. Is that okay for me to show that screen to the YouTube audience? Give me a 1 in chat, Pawel. Just type a 1. You don't need to do a speaker bot. Just give me a 1 if it's okay for me to display what's showing on the screen right now. Let's see. Oh, I guess he's got to go back to YouTube to do that. Oh, this is going to be weird. Yeah, he's doing that now. So he just did that. Okay. Then I got the mouse, Pawel, on your computer. And here we're going to bring that up on screen. So this is Pawel's computer with that email. Looks like it's in an archive. Maybe that's how to pronounce that word. And here's the appeal here that he said does not take him to the right place. Now, Pawel, are you logged in right now with the, you have to be logged in with the email, the Google account that this is associated with. Otherwise, it won't work. You'll get the same thing that I got probably. Let's see. Yeah, I can't read this. Can you change that to English for us? I've got my hands all away from the mouse. Can you change that to English for us, Pawel? Good. Comment tutorial has been removed. Your channel violated community guidelines. We removed the channel. If you think we made a mistake, we can always look at it again. Start the review for more information. So this looks like he is signed in with the right account. So let's click on Start Review. Now I'm going to take that off screen because I don't know what that button's going to go to. So I just clicked on that button. Yeah, this looks okay. Look at the issue. We'll help you figure out what went wrong and how to fix it. First, check the reason we removed your channel. Then you can decide if you want to appeal. So it wants us to look through this. And this is exactly what he described to me, is that it didn't take him any place to actually do an appeal. It just took him to this place to read about it, read the policy. Look at the issue. What to click? Is any of these clickable? And then this one right here is clickable, of course, to read the policy. So I'm wondering, is there something clickable once we get there? I'm going to take that off screen for a moment. Okay. Let's see. I can't read any of that. Could you go ahead and switch that to English for us? Oh, how about that? It was the line that had the word English in it. That was the menu option to change it. Additional policy. Inciting violations of the terms of service, posting content previously deleted or content from restricted channels, minimum age for Google products. If you think you're too young, verify your age. Now, there might be some verifications that they need. If we think you are too young to use YouTube, we may ask you to verify your age. You can learn more about this process here. Can you explain in chat, Pawel, if you have already verified your age to YouTube? I'm going to look at this a little more closely. Whoops. Oh, that's right. You got to go. You got to go over to a chat window in order to respond to that. So he's replying to that. I'm watching him type in chat. I guess that's okay to display while he's typing that. My guess is that I have verified my age, but I could be wrong. So we may wind up looking at that. I've got the mouse again. I'm going to go back to the policy. And right click and see if I can manage. Yeah, there it is. Change to English. Right. All right. So I got to stop talking so much and do some reading to myself. Need more help, post in the community, YouTube policies. And then there's an opportunity to change back to Dutch. Okay, I'm going to look closer at this. Additional policy, YouTube policy, solving a problem, managing your account settings, parental controls, YouTube Premium. According to their documentation, what I saw on other channels' YouTube videos, that link was supposed to start the appeal process, and it's not. Okay, this one's going to explain channel restrictions I expect. If you post such content, it may be removed. We may take action against. So that link's going to go to something or other. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to take that off screen. And Pawel and I will see what shows up on here. Update your account to meet age requirements. To manage your own Google account, you must meet minimum age requirement. Scrolling down through this, and just put this back on screen. I should give you the whole part of this. Update your account to meet age requirements. So this doesn't really tell us whether his age requirements is met yet. But I think something that we could do is go look at the validation status of his account. If you don't want to add super, delete your Google account, yada, yada. Okay. So I'm going to take that off screen and see if we can get into his settings page for his YouTube account. See, that's not it. Okay, Pawel, could you try going to your old commendatory account and see if you can even access the settings page for it, or just get to it? Okay, can you change that to English? Okay. Now hang on there. And this, okay, just stay right there. I'm going to bring that back up on screen. Okay, he's in YouTube Studio. We see that on the left. Here's his channel name. Ender account, log out, ender account. That's not quite English. Enter account. Channel violated our community guidelines. We remove the channel to protect the community. If you think we made a mistake, we can look at it again, start the review for more information. So let's see what we get here. We're starting review. Takes us back to the same thing. So it won't let us get into the studio. I'm going to display that on my screen to show what I was trying to get into. Here I'm going on my YouTube account into settings. Let's zoom this down a little bit so it makes more sense and see if I remember where to get this. That is YouTube Premium. That's not really what I want. Let's go to YouTube Studio. I think what I'm looking for is in settings, permissions. What I'm looking for is feature of eligibility. If you get into feature eligibility, it'll prompt you through doing some extra authentications, if I remember correctly, if this was the place. But we can't get to that on his channel. Okay. I'm going to come back to your screen, Pawel. Glancing over at chat. I'm going to look through chat a little bit. I'm bringing chat up on screen. YouTube rules number 1, we set the rules. If you have any questions, see rule 1. Looking to see if anybody's got a on-point comment. You'll need to give me a speaker bot if anyone's got an idea here where to deal with this, because I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing total affirmation of what Pawel was telling me in emails. 2 different methods. We've gone to start the appeal process, and it tells us to look at the issue. So we'll look closer at this then. See if I can zoom that in on his screen so it's easier for you all to
Greg
read.
M said, so did YT not issue separate warnings before they took down his channel?
Thank you for that. That is something that I was wanting to deal with, Greg M. Let's go look at his email. Now I've taken his computer off screen right now while we try to search his email.
Jim KJ3 and said, is there a time limit on starting the appeal?
I think there is a time limit on starting the appeal. So let's while we still have this email on screen, let's see what oh my gosh. Wait a minute. What? Oh, that's it. Pawel, yeah, there's a time limit to this. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm reading
Brian
the dates
Lightfoot said,
backwards.
perhaps there is a YouTube video showing how to appeal the takedown process.
Yes. And I've watched some of that and basically seen when you click on that, start the appeal, it's supposed to take you to a place where you put in your email address and your channel name and why you don't think you should be taken down. So yeah,
Read
the
chat,
videos are out
please.
there. Does this link help? Ryan Israel says.
Brian Lightfoot said the appeal time limit is 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. But I want to show what's on the screen for Pawel, because my immediate reaction was a US-based reaction, because I was reading this as April 9th. But I think what this is September 4th, because Europeans do things different than we do here. So I don't think he's exceeded the time. So let's go look at this link from Ran Israel. Channel or account terminations. That's kind of a lot there. Was there something specific in there that you think may help us on this. YouTube Studio, you may have to re-authenticate when logging in. Below the termination info, begin review. Yeah, we clicked that. That's exactly what we clicked on. Review the reason for termination, click next. There was no next button. There was a start appeal button. And it took us into they're telling us about it. Provide your contact email address and explain the reason for your appeal. It's not working as described. Now let's try taking that link on Pawel's computer, because since he's in a different country, maybe it will behave differently there. So I'm going over to Baby Beast.
Tim out of this world said hello everyone and DougBetts.
Hello, Tim. So I'm right-clicking on that address, copy link address, then go back to his computer, open a new tab, and paste that address. Of course, because the address was copied from YouTube chat, it sort of comes out as a really long link. And yes, we do want to leave YouTube. Channel or account termination. So from his computer, this looks to me like the same thing. Let's see. Oh, I got to bring it up over here. Channel or account terminations on my computer. Yeah, this looks the same as far as I could see. You will get an email explaining the reason for the termination. If your YouTube channel is terminated, you are prohibited from circumventing the termination or allowing others to use your channel to bypass their termination by using or creating any other YouTube channels. This applies to all your existing channels, any new channels you create or acquire, and any channels in which you are repeatedly or prominently featured. Participants of the YouTube Partner Program are no longer entitled to earn any revenue if their channel is terminated. Now, I don't think his channel was monetized, and I don't think he was producing content. I don't need you to answer that right now for me. Here's reasons. Channels can be terminated. You'll be notified of the termination through termination email. We saw that. Or be notified upon signing into YouTube Studio. We saw that also. In the event of termination, you'll lose access to your Studio dashboard or other features. So we can't go any further for validating who he is. You can still sign into YouTube Studio to review information about the termination, and we have seen that. Appeal on a computer. Open YouTube Studio. We did that. You may have to re-authenticate. We didn't see him have to do that. Below the termination info, begin review. We did that. Review the reason. Click next. Start appeal. And next. All right. Log into the channel to continue using Studio. So here we got a login prompt. I'm going to click login and take your computer off screen. Okay, it did not ask him for a password. Just took us right to this page here for start a review. You can start an assessment and file an objection until September 4th, 2029. Yeah, okay, somebody said it was, what, 5 years? So yeah, that confirms. When I started reading that line, I only saw the September 4th. I didn't read it as 2029. So I just clicked Start Review. Nothing has responded yet. Start Review again. Nothing there. Let's refresh this page. It went back to Dutch. Start Review. And it takes us to this screen, which we have seen a few times. This is not what it's supposed to do. Now, let's, I'm going to right click here and change this to English. We have all this additional policy stuff. Need more help? Try the following steps. Post in the help community. Is that, yes, that's clickable. So we may be going there. I'm going to right click on solving a problem and open in new tab. Can you click on open in new tab there for me, Pawel? One of those should say open in new tab. Open in new tab. Okay, I guess it's not there. I got the mouse. I got the mouse. Let's go back and just click on solving a problem. No, that doesn't look like it's going to be helpful. Okay, post in the help community. Welcome to the help community. Let's see. I am trying to appeal. My channel was taken down. When I click, what did that say? Begin appeal? Yeah, begin, start appeal. And that shows let's see, that shows additional policies. Is that what it took us to? It took me to policy and no option to actually begin an appeal. Something about me in double letters I just don't want to do. So now I did Control A to select all that and Control C to copy it into the clipboard buffer in case we need to use that question again or type that out again, because as kind of expected, it's just taking us to more published stuff. Appealing community, when you submit appeal, you get an email letting you know the result of your appeal. That has
Jim
not happened.
KJ3N said this guy seems confused.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Very helpful. Jeez. You'll get an email from YouTube. We have not yet submitted an appeal, so we're not expecting that yet. Channel account terminations. If your channel is terminated, you will get an email explaining you are prohibited from, I guess that goes on somewhere. Maybe I'm zoomed in too much. Where did that go? Post to the help community. Somewhere that screen that I was on got away from me. So here I'm doing a Control V to post that again. There's a read more.
Greg M. said if the account holder repeatedly violated YouTube's policy and received 3 community strikes, his channel would be removed and appeal will not help.
Yeah, but I don't think that has happened. let's, I'm going to bring the YouTube video back up for Pawel so that, and take you off screen. So Pawel, you're off screen now. So I think we're going to ask you some questions. Did you get any community strikes against your channel? Did you have any emails, any communications from YouTube prior to this takedown that there was any kind of a problem whatsoever? You're free to go back into chat. If the account holder repeatedly violated YouTube's policy and received 3 community strikes, his channel would be removed and appeal will not help. Yeah, but I don't think that has happened. He has told us that he has implied that there was no other history. And here it says, no, nothing whatsoever. No strikes, no warnings. Only that termination email. Thank you, Tim. Oh, that screen recording ran Israel is because on Baby Beast, I've been doing screen recordings of my videos to be able to later go back and see what commercials my DougBetts pilot at yahoo.com YouTube account was receiving. I'm going to turn that off because I just don't need it for today, since I'm not keeping the the DougBetts pilot YouTube running over there. Didn't even receive an example of violation. Nothing. No strikes, no examples. Only that termination. Yeah. So that doesn't seem to be the reason for this. And even if it was, we should have been seeing something to that effect when trying to appeal. This email that he received with the instructions about how to appeal, or with the link to start an appeal, that was just September 4th. So it's very recent. That the fact that that email includes the language referring to permanent, here's the copy on my computer.
Brian Lightfoot said, what kind of content was normally on his channel?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that I'd looked at his content before, and I don't think there was very much. Pawel, were you publishing your own content, or were you mainly using your channel to interact in chat rooms and commenting on other videos? So this language here, we have permanently removed your channel from YouTube. I think it's wrong to put any stock into that word, because this very same email talks about appealing the decision. So it's permanently removed unless you win your appeal, I think is a fair response here. Now this one right here is the URL for his channel. When he clicks on appeal here, he just gets to that information screen, but I can't get to it from my computer because that was intended for his account. If I click here, yeah, it takes me to this account has been terminated for violation. So I can't see anything about the account there. This home button takes me to my home screen, I think. Yeah. I'm a History Nuts documentaries. Were you republishing other people's content on your channel? Were you republishing other people's content on your channel? I'm going back to look at other emails from him in the past. And he responds here, no, not that I'm aware of. I think not, about republishing other people's content. He says, I saved only other videos for my channel. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Ran Israel, was it regarding any particular religion? I don't think that would be a problem. I love documentaries about history in general. So he's talking about saving. Pawel, is this what you mean? Let me come to, let's go. Let's go back to my home. When you talk about saving, let's take this one for
Zivy
instance.
Manor said, what link is hidden under here in the mail?
Yeah, well, we have clicked on that a couple times, but I'll go show what the link actually is. So I think what he says about what he's doing and saving is coming in here and choose save, and then you can click on any of your playlists. And if you are sharing your playlists to other people on YouTube, then they will show up when somebody goes to your channel and clicks on your playlist. So you can have playlists of other people's content. That is completely acceptable and desired by YouTube. Okay, so he wants to know what link is hidden under the email. Let's come over and look at that. Let's go back and find it. Here, appeal here. So if I right click on that and let's see, what do I want to do that? Let's copy link address and then paste it into chat. Yikes. Yeah, see, that's not even going to come through to you because it exceeds the length. So it's notifications@google.com. So that's got all kinds of.
Zimana said, copy the link to his computer.
To his computer. That ought to be the same as clicking on the link on the email in his computer, but yes, I'll go ahead and try that. You can email it to him. There's no need to do that. He has the email on his computer, but we're going to copy from
affirmative.
the email as it shows on my screen, then paste it into his browser and see if it gets the same results. And I think Zavi gives me an affirmative indicating that's what he meant. I got to maneuver to that. Oh, no, wait a minute. Maybe I already have that. Yes, I do. That link that I copied on Big Beast, that is available to me in the clipboard history for Baby Beast because both of these computers sign in with a Microsoft account. So I can do a copy from one computer and use paste on the other computer. That's one of the things that I do like about how signing in with a Microsoft account works. Okay, I am clicking to restore the YouTube back down to, well, Pawel, can you do that? Move that back down to the bottom right corner. Yeah. Okay, now I'm bringing his computer back up on screen, going to new browser.
Zvite Manor said you can also open the link from his email in his PC.
We did that. We've already done that a couple times. Okay, so here's how this works. On Baby Beast, when I press Windows key V to get my clipboard history, here's the link. I'll click on that link here, and then in his browser, go to a new tab. And Control V paste. And it gets us to the same thing. I think we were going to that one. I'm trying to change this to English. Oh, no, this is saying that it was intended for somebody else. So this apparently is not signed in with his account. So Pawel, I'm going to take that off screen. Can you get back to a place in your browser where you're signed in with the email account associated with the YouTube account that was taken down? Because I think that is that message that's saying that that link was intended for a different account. I think he went to a different browser. I think he's working with two different browsers here. Okay. I see what you got. I've got it from there. Let me come up here to a new tab in this browser. I think he signed in with the right account. So let's do a Control V paste here. Yeah. So regardless of using the link that was in his email or on my computer, there's English. It gets us to the same place with the Start Review button. Click the Start Review button, and it takes us to this screen to look at the issue. The only thing clickable in here is that one on the right-hand side that says Read Policy. Moving the mouse all around here. It doesn't scroll down. There's nothing else to scroll to. Here's the URL of where we're at. It says appeal form equals 1 hint _ email.
Greg M. said, Doug, does he have any extensions installed that is blocking scripts?
All right. All right. I don't know if you heard the speaker bot, Pawel. I think you did. Are there any extensions that are blocking anything? Can you go into extensions there for me? Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it. Extensions. That's the Chrome Web Store. This should be Manage Extensions. Ad block. That might be doing something. Let's turn that off. So McAfee Web Advisor. Let's just, there's only 5 items here. Let's just turn them all off. There's no save button for extensions. Then we'll go back button. I'm going to paste that link again. Switch to English. Start review. No. That did not do it. Let's, on a similar idea, how about we try an incognito? That should be incognito right there. This isn't going to be signed in to his YouTube account. So could you go ahead and complete the sign in? I've taken that off screen. Greg M is specifically asking about blocking scripts via other extensions. Is there anything else where you might be blocking scripts? In the internet options in control panel, there's a place for saying that, for setting some security settings that can deal with scripts. I rather doubt that's what's going on though. He's doing a verification, looks like a two-factor verification to his phone. DNS lookups, I'm not feeling that. One way to, okay, well, I see he's back at that screen. Let me come back to his computer. So we're in that incognito window and switch to English, start review, and same thing here. I just clicked on the verify your age instructions. Update your account to meet age requirements, manage your Google account, minimum age. Well, yeah, we still have access. He can still access his Google account. It's the YouTube account that can't be accessed.
Aljaz Tepe said, hello, Uncle Doug, and chat from Slovenia, where temperature is 7 degrees Celsius or 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is raining.
Hello, Aliaj. I don't know what Ken Stout is giving me here. I'm not going to go there unless you tell me what that's about, Ken. Maybe he's put that in for somebody else. Oh, let's see. So the Google account. I wonder if we can find anything through the Google account.
Brian Lightfoot said, how old is Commendatore?
Okay, that's a good question. Pawel, I have you off screen right now. Can you open the chat again and tell us how old you are? Ken Stout, I disagree with you. They've told us already that there's 5 years he has to appeal this, and I've seen other content creators get their channels back. So I don't think you're right there. And he did not delete the Google account.
Ken Stout Live, said Roger.
Male, 43 years old. All right. Now.
Ken Stout Live said per a Google search.
Yeah, but that's not the issue that we were working against here. Pawel, one of these should be manage your Google account. Can you click on that if that's the right account? No, that's not the right account. We'd need a Google account that has the same email address as your commendatory. Yeah, we're in the other browser here. So you go ahead and switch to the browser that has that's signed in with a Google account that your YouTube channel is on, and we're going to go look at manage your Google account. That's different than the YouTube account. Yeah, Ran Israel, I think you're right about that. I think it was self-deletion. If somebody deletes their account themselves. There. Okay, I'm gonna, let's see. Oh, so I need to go to YouTube commendatory. Yes. Yes, Pawel, go to the browser where you have the commendatory Google account signed in. And then we're going to go look at managing the Google account, see if it gives us any clue. I think it's on the other browser. Isn't it on? Don't you have that on another browser? Yeah, there it is. That's the one we want.
Read chat, please.
Gary's got a link in here regarding Mela project. Criminal code. That's a lot to read. I don't want to read through it all. Can you tell me what specifically? Criminal law of the Netherlands shall apply to the person. Okay, so this is specific about Netherlands. This is not an official translation. All circumstances, original text Dutch.
Read chat, please.
137 CD. I searched 137. There's one of 6 CD. Okay, C and D. All right, here we go. Any person who in public verbally writing through the images intentionally makes an insulting statement about a group of persons because race, religion, beliefs, their sexual orientation shall be liable to determine imprisonment. The offense is committed by a person who makes a profession or habit, 2 or more persons in concert. Any person publicly, verbally incites hatred, yada, yada. So these are, we don't know that these are associated with his activity on YouTube at all. Now, it certainly is possible that somebody maybe have perceived something that he said in a comment somewhere on another channel. You know, a lot of times it's hard to get your comments taken in chat the way that you intend them, that somebody might have taken that offense and then reported his channel, and it could have gotten taken down for one of these reasons, even if any reasonable person knowing the details would say, no, that shouldn't have applied, but it could still have been the reason. Okay, now I'm going to...
Gary Weisenberger said he posted about religion.
Well, yeah, but was it hatred of some sort? We don't know that. But he was interested in religious topics. That doesn't mean anybody who makes a comment on a religious-oriented video would be guilty of those violations, but it could
Gary
be.
Weisenberger said 2024.
2024. There we go, religion. He said he posted about religion 2024. I commented to disagree with a Muslim guy. Yeah, if you post comments disagreeing, and perhaps, you know, the tone of your comment may or may not have much degree to it, but yeah, that could be. That's a possibility for sure. Let's go bring this up. But still, you should be able to appeal. I commented to disagree with a Muslim guy. Now, that comment right there doesn't say how rude you may have been in that comment or combative, but not hate, only my look on things. A lot of people's look on things can feel like hate to the person on the other side. You can make what to you is a very innocent comment, and it can be taken more strongly from the other side. It's my guess that this brought my channel down. Yeah, so even he is thinking that he's suspecting that may have done it. Was that a one-time, legitimately one-time deal, or was that kind of your habit? It could be that it was your habit and you didn't realize how offensive it was to people on the other side. So they had a disagreement, maybe he commented back in a polite way, but stood his ground. The other person still reported him. Certainly could be. True, sir, could be. I think he's kind of fessing up here that it's my habit, but I did it for a while. Yeah, so you may have had multiple people report you, and when YouTube sees that it's a habit, it's a pattern of you going specifically to those channels where you know you're going to disagree with them, and then you put in a comment that disagrees with them and likely causes them strife and struggles. Until you become a content creator and put yourself out there, you probably are not going to be able to understand the impact that it has from the content creator's side. And I'm smiling because I'm tempted to use a Chris Garrett example. Chris, are you here? I don't want to say this without you being here. Can you give me one in chat, Chris, if you're here? Otherwise, I'm not going to use this example from Chris. I'm scrolling up and see if he's here. No, I don't think he's here. Yeah. Anyway, I know Chris well enough that I wasn't. Oh, he is here. He is here. Okay. All right. So, Chris, I'm going to give an example. A day or two ago in chat, you put in a chat message. Oh, you know what? I can probably bring this up, huh? And I don't take this seriously. So don't worry. You're not in trouble with me. I'm pretty sure it was Chris. I'm looking through his past comments. Let's see, 914. Hey, chat, Angel. I'm wondering if I'm thinking of somebody else. So I should be able to search. Ah, there it is. Oops, no, that's different. No, that's not it. All right, maybe I'm wrong. So I'm going to say that maybe I'm wrong about remembering that this was from Chris Garrett. But anyway, my recollection, what I perceived was that he said, Doug is so boring, or Doug is boring, something like that. Well, I know Chris well enough that maybe he was in jazz, maybe he was feeling it at the time, but then I realized later it might have been in response to that video, that bumper clip, where I asked, is somebody snoring? And Gary says, Doug, you're just boring. Sorry, something like that. I make fun of myself, right? But I don't know if that was Chris. It might have been somebody else. I don't know. But anyway, that still kind of stung, even though in my head I could tell myself, no, it's okay. Chris is always here. He likes me. But the point there is, Pawel, is that if YouTube sees that you are intentionally going to these particular religion channels and putting in comments that is likely causes them stress, that would fit within what YouTube is describing here as against community standards, against community guidelines. And if that's what actually happened, I suggest don't try to even appeal it. Brian Lightfoot, Doug is boring. That's a scientific fact. My keyboard typed that, not me. I think we've gone far enough on this. Pawel, clearly one thing that I wanted to do here was to document that when you click that start appeal, that begin appeal, that it's not working the way that it claims to. So we have documented that. I don't see that we're going to have much chance of getting forward on this. I'm going to do one more thing with your computer, Pawel. I'm going to minimize the browsers that you have open. Then do something here that would make it easier for you to establish a remote connection with me in the future if you choose to. And that is when I go over here to my Log Me and Rescue Technician, there's this thing called Calling Card. I'll click on that and install Calling Card. This puts a little icon on your desktop that you can just double click on to start a remote session with me in the future. And if you don't want it there, you can just delete it. I think you actually have to uninstall it. I think this actually installs a program on your computer, but this does not give me the ability to connect remotely to your computer. It only gives you an icon that you can click on to
Brian
start
Lightfoot
the
said,
connection.
now we know why Doug prohibits discussions on his channels about religion and politics.
Huh. Interesting speculation, Brian. Now we know why Doug prohibits discussions on his channels about religion and politics. No, yeah, that's not really the reason. It's not that I'm afraid of YouTube. But I'll give you the reason. In this community, I'm sure we have people that are of many different religious persuasions and sexual persuasions. And if we start talking, and political, and if we start talking about those, then we'll have contention. And that's not what my channel is about. My channel is about technical stuff. So we're just not going to go there. And I prefer you not declare your religious persuasion, your political persuasion, or your sexual persuasion. So I'm going to remove that recent comment. Let's see, I don't want to remove the person. Well, let me just ask you to go ahead and delete it. Okay, you removed your Brian did. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'd rather you just not even declare that. It can be a little touchy even to ask a person's age. That's an issue that I know has been a problem in some environments. Okay. He is, I'd rather you not put that in there, Pawel. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to remove that, Pawel. And not that I don't take an exception to it. I just want to make it a policy. We don't deal with religion or politics or sexual persuasions. Thank you. You just removed it. Okay. And that's all just meant to keep everything kind and friendly, not to be for or against anything.
Gary Weisenberger said, are saying that we were persuaded.
And then he removed that. The speaker bot on it, then removed it. Yeah, thank you for understanding that, Pawel. Pawel, do you have any, while I'm connected to your computer, do you have any other requests in regards to your computer? I think we've gone as far as we can with your channel restoration. Brian tells us he's under 15 decades old. Right? That's what you meant. You're under 15? Or did you mean under 15 foot? You're less than 15 foot tall? He says not at this moment. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and
yes,
disconnect.
affirmative.
Disconnect from your computer. And we will move along with the show.
John Williams said, thanks for the live stream today. Good info.
You're welcome, John. Says, thank you so much for the effort and your time for helping me out. And you're welcome. I'm still critical of YouTube. No, right. Not critical on religion, not critical on politics or sexual persuasion. Critical against YouTube, that's allowed. YouTube allows that entirely. It should, attempting to start that review or that appeal should have been more informative. And it should have allowed the appeal to start, but my advice to Pawel is do not attempt to do the appeal based upon what you have admitted has been your habit. It is against YouTube's community guidelines for a person to intentionally go seeking YouTube channels that are promoting a point of view that they disagree with and put in, argumentative comments. That's just not within YouTube's policies. So I think it's legitimate that you were violating YouTube's community standards out of just not really understanding their guidelines. And I agree with you there, Pawel. He says, I wish they send me an example of exactly what I wrote that offended somebody. Now it's just pure guessing. And I think the reason why they won't send the example is because they don't want to out somebody. They don't want to tell you who complained. This is not a courtroom. This is not a courtroom where you get to face your accuser. This is a company, a business, YouTube, that does, on some level, tries to keep a healthy community. And they don't want to let people get in contact with each other about their disagreements. Yeah, from now on, only saving and looking at videos. Well, you can put in affirmative comments, supportive comments to the content creator. YouTube likes that a lot. Lawn Dog saying, by the way, everything you do on YouTube is being stored, analyzed for the usage of AI development. Anyways, chew on that. Would somebody in chat give me permission by giving me a 1 in chat if I can display, just to make that point about your history, you can give me your permission to display all of your previous comments on my channel? Tim Cruz gives me that permission. All right, so I come over here to the 3-dot menu, and I think we found out that administrators or moderators cannot do this. But if I go to channel activity, Ran Israel also gives me a 1. Channel activity, I can come back and I can see all of his comments on my live streams through the past. I don't know, yes or no, whether this shows up their comments on my channel. So when YouTube gets a complaint about you, they easily can go back and see all of your comment history on all of the channels that you have been active in the chat room, or
Gary Weisenberger said Modi can also.
Where you've been active in the chat room or comments.
Ken Stout Live said must have that as well.
Oh, mods do have that? I lost my chat room. Here, chat room. Here, chat room. Here, boy. Here, boy. Where are you? I lost my chat room. My chat room ran away. Bringing it back into place. And do it right over here so that I can switch to my video or switch to the chat room. Yeah, mods do have that. So even moderators can go look at your history, because that would be a technique to help a moderator decide if they need to, block somebody or delete their comment or get an idea of what their real attitude is towards the channel. I've been too naive, but we learn from our mistakes. I've learned my lesson now. Thank you for being open to that and being a very reasonable person. Algorithms records and save everything. Yeah, and the algorithms, they can write. YouTube can, we talk about, or you hear about the YouTube algorithm.
Ran Israel said, you as a viewer can get a list of all your comments and all your chat entries for all channels you engage with.
Yes, that is true also. So you can go back and look at your own history. I don't offhand remember where to go to do that. I got distracted, didn't I? Oh yeah, the algorithm. The algorithm isn't one computer program. The algorithm can be many, many, many programs where YouTube staff might say, hey, I wonder what would happen if we check to see if a channel does this and this and this and maybe either favor or do things differently with that channel based upon that. One thing that I'm working on right now is changing my end screens. You're not going to see different end screens today. But to give you an idea of what I'm working on, and I talked about this a little bit when I was on Ken Stout's show, or maybe it was the After Hours show, I'm not sure. Where, yeah, I very much appreciated that many of you are loyal to watch my shows. When I do a live stream, many of you are here very reliably. And the comment that I made on Ken's show was that might be shooting me in the foot. That might be a disadvantage. No, Brian, you'll have Porky today. Short life. Pigs have a short lifespan, right? Yeah, shooting me in the foot. Because I wonder how many of you will watch my show and then at the end of my show, you stop watching YouTube and you go do something else. That could be something that one of the many, many YouTube algorithms notices and therefore decreases the priority for sharing my videos to potential new audience. Because if YouTube knows that a significant percentage of my audience watches my show and then they stop watching YouTube during that session, they go do something else because they came just to watch the show. So now they go do something else. That could be disadvantage to my channel. I certainly don't want to, promote that you don't watch during the live stream, but only watch on replay. So don't change your viewing habits based upon my speculation there. But I've got something in the works for a different end screen that might help fix that. All right. Yeah, so we're open to other subjects now. I am here reliably, Doug, because I'm well trained. Your programming technique is working well. Okay, well, let me ask you, Lawn Dog. When you finish watching one of my live shows, do you typically continue watching YouTube after my show ends? Or do you often go do something else in your day? Yeah, a loyal, regular audience has an advantage to it, but does that cause YouTube to not share me out to other potential audience? It says, interesting speculation, Doug, but I don't think YouTube gets that deep at this time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying they do. But I figured I got an idea. I have a plan for how to test that. Lawn Dog says, after your show is done, I move on to other shows. So he continues watching YouTube. So that's a thumbs up to YouTube. I think. I'm speculating. I don't have any hope of getting through all the rest of chat. In fact, I can only scroll back to the second hour. The earliest comment I have here is 11:59. So that was an hour into the show. That was 20 minutes ago. Really? That's all I can get back to is 20 minutes? In OBS, I can get all the way back in OBS. All right, well, let's look over here because this is more friendly on the eyeballs. If there's any other questions or topics you're interested in, this is a time to bring it up or ask. I'm going to look for oranges, lemons, apples. Nope, none of those are here. They're looking at
Ken
viewing
Stout
time.
Live said, "Can you go back in the studio?"
That's not the only thing that they look at. But viewing time is very directly related to a content creator's earnings. YouTube Studio.
Ran Israel said Microsoft PC Manager.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's deal with Ken's request first, and then we'll go to PC Manager, which I have not spent much time in. So what do you want to see in the studio, Ken? Where am I at? Oh, 52. That's high for me. I'm historically happy to have 1 new subscriber per day. So I'd be expecting to see 28 new subscribers in 28 days, but 52 indicates that perhaps with recent changes, that has gone up. Is there something specifically you wanted me to show?
Ken Stout Live said, "Can you go all the way back in chat?"
I cannot go all the way back in chat on YouTube, on the chat panel in YouTube, but I can in OBS. So here's, well, no, that's not quite all the way back. That's 11:07. That's not all the way back. Is there something specifically you wanted me to get to there? Made $55. I guess that's something I have no qualms about showing my earnings on YouTube. Oh, estimated revenue, $55.72 in the last 28 days. If I come to analytics and look at revenue, there's $55.72 in the last 28 days. This is showing over recent months. This is showing performance of specific videos. Now this is in the last 28 days over here. That old video, repairing HP all-in-one, that is $7.29 in the last 28 days. Yeah, see there, last 28 days. And how to fix Gmail reverse conversation and upgrading. Those are my highest money performers. I'll turn that off, turn picture-in-picture off. Which means I should redo those videos, recreate them. Right? You think? Watch page ads, supers, shorts feeds.
Jeff Ryman said, "Look at chat inside studio."
Chat inside studio. Here's lifetime earnings for my channel when it gets around to it. $2,700. You see that back there in the early days of when I started really working, it was much higher. Well, that's because people were giving me, you know, super chats and super stickers or whatever, and I've kind of probably shot myself in the foot by dropping the hint that whatever money you have to spend, I just assume you spend that on some of our other.
John Williams said, "Do you have to pay taxes on your earnings from YT?"
Yes.
Manor said Carrie promoted your channel yesterday again.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. I've watched. Now, actually, the video, I went back to watch his Thursday video, I think. Didn't get to his Friday video yet. But thank you, Carrie. Very much appreciated. And a high percentage of the audience that's here now, I believe, found me through Carrie's show, and in part because I bought the computer from him. That's not why I bought the computer from him, but I think that got me extra exposure through his channel. Again, not the reason for buying the computer. Okay, somebody asked me to look at chat in studio. Can you go all the way back in chat? Whoops, I'm not up to date here.
I'm assuming he must have.
Yes, I pay taxes. So I told you about preparing my income tax returns for my CPA last weekend, because I file extended taxes every year. And I give him the amounts, not only from YouTube, but also I claim money that people gave me through Amazon gift cards and through PayPal. This is a Doug thing. I claim the income. When somebody supports the channel by doing an Amazon gift card, then YouTube doesn't get a cut of that.
Jim KJ3N said Zoom?
Oh, Zoom. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, there's people in Zoom. I am so sorry. Let's bring Zoom in.
Okay, now can
Oh,
you hear
bad
me?
Doug. Bad Doug.
Can you hear me, Bad Doug?
Let's see. Change the speaker to come same as system. Microphone is cable output. Punch this button, and I have to
Just
fix.
let me know when you can hear me.
I hear you, and so do they.
Okay. What
So-
everybody, well, not everybody, what Ken has been trying to get you to do is to go to the tab in your browser that shows YouTube Studio, the stream itself, and in there you can scroll all the way back to in the chat.
All right.
That's what he's been trying to tell you.
I am going there now. So here's YouTube Studio, and going back in chat, and I got to display timestamps to be able to see that. I'm seeing back to 11:20, but I think Zoom is causing me an issue. No, I'll only go back to 11:20.
That seems a little strange.
And in OBS, I go back to 11:07.
Well, OBS is OBS.
Yeah. Well, OBS is going back further than Studio. Could it be that I haven't had this Studio window open during the whole show? And if I did, could I go back that far? Could I get back to the beginning?
I don't know.
But here's another.
Oh, wait. So somebody said do live chat instead of top chat. See if that
All right.
changes.
All right. So in Studio, live chat, and then scroll up. 12:09, that's worse.
Okay.
Now, if I go back to top chat, will it go back to showing me the older stuff? No.
No.
Once I make a change there, and I think if I keep making changes or even refresh this browser page, I'll lose the oldest content here.
Okay.
And that's where I'm thinking that maybe having this open through the whole show might preserve the older stuff. But here's something else that is really strange, is that my Thursday show, usually it takes about 20 hours before I can go back and add the end screens, because it takes that long for YouTube to process the video on the weekdays, Monday through Friday. But on Thursday's video, after about 36 hours, it still was not finished. I didn't find the Thursday show finished until I looked at it this morning. But usually about 20 hours or 22 hours, it becomes available. And when the Saturday show, that's 2 hours long or thereabouts, the video finishes processing and I can add in screens and I can see the chat room about 2 hours after the show. I was thinking that it was a Saturday thing. However, Carrie Holzman's 2 hour long shows during the week, that chat room is fully replayable, I think in less than 2 hours after his show. So I don't understand. I don't know what's going on there.
That would tend to suggest to me that streams that are quote unquote relatively short get lower priority in the processing.
Yeah, that is definitely a suspicion. When I first discovered that Carrie's chat was coming available before mine, I was thinking it's because of the size of his channel. But then after that, I discovered that my Saturday shows, the chat becomes replayable much quicker.
Yeah, the live streams where I've done builds, that seems to come up faster. I mean, it literally within a few hours, I think. And my channel's nothing. My channel's peanuts. My channel isn't even monetized.
But have you been able to identify that when you do a live stream that's like half an hour long, it takes longer for the video to process and the chat to be replayable as opposed to a 2 hour?
I haven't noticed. I don't know that I've done a stream. I think the shortest stream I've done is about 45 minutes. And I honestly didn't keep track of when the chat became available.
All right. That sounds like an experiment for Ken Stout to do. And, but for your channel, it would test whether being monetized has anything to do with it. Or it could be that simply a long live stream, for some reason, YouTube gives priority to processing those. I don't know. Another possibility is the, bring this up, the latency setting. I always have my streams on the ultra low latency. I don't know where to find that. I don't know if I can even display it.
Yeah, mine are always set for low. It's not ultra low.
Yeah, mine always set ultra low. And if you're ultra low, YouTube will not be offering closed captioning on the fly. If you're low latency or normal latency, whatever the other word is, it will do or can do closed captioning on the fly. So you should be getting closed captioning on the fly if you're not using ultra low. I'm thinking that it's not even visible here. So to see that, to demonstrate that, let's go back and do a new stream. Well, actually, I already have Monday's stream begun, so it's unlisted right now, but
Ken Stout Live said stream settings, not analytics.
Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Ultra low latency. Does not support closed captions. Now, this is for Monday shows, so I can click on low latency and see that that message is not there about closed captions and normal latency. I'm getting this error about duplicate stream key because I'm streaming right now using the same stream key, so that warning message is acceptable. But ultra low latency is where closed captions are not available, and these higher resolutions are not available. Using low latency or normal, you apparently can have all of that functional. Okay. There was a request in chat. Did I get through all of what was requested for that studio? Stream settings. Did look at the current stream, which is live now. Oh, here's the latencies. Yeah, so this just shows that I'm on ultra low latency. And of course, I can't change that while in progress. There's analytics, viewer activity, stream health. All right. Now, since there's some time has passed, what do I have in, well, and I've gone away from this screen. So yeah, these are even less history that I have now. But in OBS, I still have that 1107 comment from Ken. All right. Zoom. Oh, Gary Weisenberger's in Zoom too. Sorry, Gary. I didn't say hello. You're muted if you're even at your computer.
Well, there is that. We don't know where he's at this point. Because he
Yeah.
was here not long after I got here.
Yeah. And do we have a confirmation in the chat room? Give me a 1 in chat if you're hearing Jim okay, because I made changes to my audio, major changes to my audio settings. I tested it and Brian says 1, so we're good there. Wintermute asking a question there. Is there a way around a Microsoft account on first boot of an S mode computer? Could not find it as command will not run with Shift F10.
Well, yeah, that's probably on S mode. Yeah, because it's locked down. It only will allow you to install apps from the Microsoft Store.
Yeah.
So it's a very locked down deal. So you're going to have to probably either do a Microsoft. I don't know of any way around that. I've never booted a machine that had S mode enabled from the get go. I've taken them out of S mode. That I've done, but
yeah.
So
well, if you get a computer that comes with S mode enabled and you don't want that, I'd just be inclined to do a fresh Windows install.
Yeah, you could overwrite it if you wanted to. I suppose you could do that.
Yeah, the only downside there is if you're concerned about that computer might have drivers that may be difficult to acquire and you'd want to get it up and running so that you could export drivers, but S mode might not let you even do that. Because that's
that's unfortunate. The only, well, you could do the Microsoft account, make a local account, and then just delete the other one.
Yeah.
I mean,
just use a throwaway.
Yeah, that's what I would go with.
Yeah. And Wintermute says command does not run at all with S mode. You can't get a command prompt. So that's where we do the export of drivers. I don't know if there's another way to do it.
Long Dog says might be something. It might have to go online to make sure the license key is activated through Microsoft before you do anything else. That's possible.
If you don't get that key that came with it activated, then you might and you do a fresh install, you might have to purchase a license.
It depends. Again, it's going to depend on the machine, whether there's an actual key embedded in the BIOS, which most of your OEMs do anyway.
If you can wipe it out and install a real copy of Windows, there are videos from Doug on how to do this. That could be. That could be. I can't say that I remember. I could say I remember. It just doesn't mean that I do remember.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but my whole thinking was that any computer that you buy that comes with Windows S mode already tells me it's underpowered.
Yeah, that is likely. Highly likely that it's underpowered and you're not going to be happy with a normal Windows install on it.
Nope. Especially if you're going to do like quote unquote real programs and not just stuff from the Microsoft Store.
Right. Right. So by having a normal Windows installation on it, you may be still 4 gigabytes of RAM or even 2 gigabytes of RAM on
I think most of them
certain
are 4.
configurations. I think the specifications I think say 4, but I think there are some S mode computers that I think they've been able to make it with 2, but again, don't.
Oh, that's
don't do it.
I'm sorry. That's got to be a horrible experience.
And if anybody's doing that, they certainly can't afford to be paying any kind of a reasonable technician to help them with the computer.
No. Somebody like me will take one look at it and try to stifle a laugh.
Yeah. And the real tragedy of it is people who will see that low price tag and it says Windows 11. They have no clue what S mode means. And even the marketer may have the S mode buried or might not even have it in the description, because these sellers on Amazon are not very good at writing their copy, you know. And the sellers may have, I wouldn't put it past an Amazon seller to find a whole bunch of inexpensive computers. They buy them as a lot and they start selling them, and they don't even understand what S mode is or that the computers are S mode, because they just don't know. They're just Amazon marketers.
Ken.
Hello, Ken.
Hello, Doug. Yes, I'm sitting in the dark.
I would make a comment, but I'm not going to.
It's okay. I have a topic
Uh-oh.
that you might be able to help me out with.
All right. Well, somebody did ask about that computer management thing. I think that might have just been a, for nothing better kind of comment. Was that even in my list of topics today, maybe?
It was one of the maybe 3 that you had. I may be a little biased, but I would say let's give priority to Mr. Ken.
Yeah, me too.
That's me.
A live question definitely would take priority.
So you use mouse with borders, right?
A mouse without borders. I don't use the
Mouse
one with
without
borders. Yeah.
You know me and my words, okay? Let's not drag this out. So the other day, I had to reboot my Windows 10 machine. I had to put the dongle for the keyboard in Windows 10 to go to Windows. It would not let me get past the opening screen.
Right? Yeah.
Is that
mouse
supposed
without,
to do that?
Yeah, mouse without borders won't work until the startup programs have launched. And that's after your login.
Yeah, the homies pretty much figured it out, but I thought maybe you might know a way to get around it, but I'm guessing there's no way around it.
No,
software has
I
to load.
highly doubt it. Yeah.
Yes. The software has to load, and it probably won't load till goes to the desktop.
Well, okay, here's a possibility. If that software were able to load as a system service, then it could be available. And I know that because my remote software is installed as a system service, and that becomes active before the computer gets to the login screen. So if somebody has their, actually Big Beast Build, I can have it turned off from the cabin. I can use my Amazon app, the ALEXA app, to turn on the power for Big Beast, and I can connect to it remotely and at the sign-on screen actually type in my password. So I'm going to mouse without borders because this is sounding kind of familiar to me that maybe I have done that, where there was a checkbox to turn it on. So here I'm bringing up mouse without borders on screen, and other options, 2 rows, IP mapping. So other options, looking for something about a system service. Hide logo, login. Looking for something about a system service. Jeff, can you mute your YouTube audio?
John Williams said you have Alexa nice.
Yes. So settings, lock machine, reconnect to other machines. Yeah, I don't see anything there about a system service.
Ken, when you had that trouble, didn't you get a BIOS message saying you had no keyboard on the other machine?
I actually did, Jeff. You are correct. It popped up and said no keyboard
You have
detected.
to have something in there to get past the BIOS.
Well, you can disable that in BIOS so that BIOS does not stop on keyboard warnings.
Okay.
But of course you'll need a keyboard to make that adjustment. Oh wow, I gotta fix my.
Yeah, no big deal. I've got
columns.
the keyboard and mouse and everything ready to go upon a reboot.
Wait a minute, why can't I get that?
On that
right?
other machine, you just gotta put the keyboard and the mouse in behind the other computer so you're not tempted to type on the wrong one if you're using
Yeah,
just borders.
Well, well, no. The mouse you can use if you have a mouse connected to each computer. If you take the mouse that belongs to the other computer, it will cross borders too.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I experimented with that. Yes, once I was up and running, it does.
See, I haven't tried that for the keyboard though.
But you have to have the keyboard to press a button to put your 4-digit code in, which mine's 4321123 or something like that. But
oh yeah, for the code, yeah, you'll have to have those attached. But really, I think the distinction I'm trying to make there is that if your battery runs out on your mouse or keyboard, you can use the mouse and keyboard from the other computer, and it will cross borders as well. Mine does.
Once the Windows 10 is up and running, it
yes,
will,
once it's up and running.
Before.
Yeah, once it's up and running. You're right. You're right. So you still have to have one connected.
Hang on, let me start my recording apparatus. Could you repeat that, please?
Well, now here's a way around it. If you don't want to have to do that, you just configure your second computer so it will go all the way up to the desktop without having to log in. You can put a password into a registry setting to make it automatically enter the password. You can change that computer so it has no password. If you're dealing with a local account, that can cause some problems for networking. And there's some other utilities that can be used to automatically log a computer in so that when you turn it on, it just goes all the way up to the desktop. And then your mouse without borders would be functional.
Doug?
Yeah. Gary?
Remember, CrowdStrike runs as a system service also.
Yeah.
Mouse Without Borders is not a certified Microsoft product. It's from the garage type of thing.
Right. Now, CrowdStrike is even a lower level than system service, as I understand it, because it's in bootloader or boot, whatever we call that. I think that it's active before system services start loading, isn't it?
No, it's a system service. Nope.
Oh, just system service? All right.
A friend of a friend over the last update with Microsoft updates got a Dell firmware update, and he turned it off because he was having turned off for about 3 minutes. He now has a brick system, and it was a firmware update.
Ah.
So tell people not to be too quick to turn them on.
Okay, it was Rand Israel that asked about Microsoft PC Manager. This was not at all on my radar at all until I heard Kerry Holzman mention it. PC has a lot of temporary files. Use deep cleanup to free space. Oh, and Zavi Manor may be interested to hear that I have recently used Revo Uninstaller 2 or 3 times, and I'm kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, kind of liking what I found it to do on my computers, with finding extra stuff that a normal uninstall does not get rid of.
A quick comment on that. I agree with you, first of all.
Yeah.
Second, Microsoft gets the uninstall for Windows 11 from the installer. And I will tell you unequivocally, uninstallers coming from the third party are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, not from Revo, but I mean, like if you put,
Right.
Game PC on, the guy that wrote Game ABC really doesn't care if you uninstall it.
Right.
I mean, like Norton doesn't want you to uninstall, so they're not going to install kindly. They leave a lot of stuff behind.
And whether that's intentional or just negligent, I'm suspecting that they just don't want to pay their programmers much money to really thoroughly do an uninstall. And in some cases, they rightfully may be thinking that this might be a temporary uninstall. You might be wanting to reinstall it, and you would like to have whatever configurations that you had done with their software. And some programs, when you uninstall them, they'll actually ask you if you want to uninstall all of that stuff.
I agree with that, but thinking you're go back in the day with going from WordPerfect to Word, I don't really care. I'm WordPerfect. I don't want nasty words to you. Why am I going to spend money to get rid of my stuff?
Yeah.
Unless you're coming back.
Okay, so looking for what else is in PC Manager.
Svi Manor said eventually.
Eventually. I'm not sure what the context of his eventually comment. Oh, hey, in Zoom, are you hearing SpeakerBot?
Yes.
Zoom participants? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay. Because I made a lot of changes to audio recently, so that's what I needed to make sure was working. Boost.
Vivi Mana said using Revo.
Revo. Eventually using Revo. I guess he's referring to me eventually using Revo, or giving it more of a shot.
Let me ask you a question about Revo.
Okay.
In the free version, will it remove? No. In the free version, will it watch while you're installing something and keep track of all the stuff it should remove later?
That would at least have to be the installed version of Revo, and what I have used recently was the portable. So the portable, you just launch it.
Pro version of the portable. And after about a week's use, I gave up on it.
All right.
Because I was trying to use it on multiple PCs, and it was difficult to keep track of what was going on with which one. If I were going to do it again, I would just buy the one you install and do it separately on each PC. Right now, I'm using IOBit Uninstaller Pro, which I pay for every year. And it watches when you install something and keep...
Ran Israel said only the installable Pro version does that.
Okay, you were talking while that SpeakerBot was coming through, so I missed.
Oh, sorry, but IOBit Uninstaller Pro watches when you install something, so it doesn't have to guess at what needs to be removed when it uninstalls.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what Revo did in that regard.
Yeah. So was that a portable version, or was that a...
No.
That was installed
No, I
version.
bought a 3 PC license for it. It was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I would give people one caveat about the IOBit. All of the IOBit utilities, when you first install them, try to install extra crap on your computer, and you have to watch for that, and sometimes actually remove it if they don't give you the choice to skip it. But when IOBit Uninstaller updates, it doesn't do that. So now I just let it update itself rather than going and getting the new one and installing it from scratch each time.
All right. Let me address Scott's comment here. Hello, Scott, by the way. Apparently we have the whatever that feature that restricts people turned off currently. That's probably left over from last week. Ken, you didn't turn that off today, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll leave it off. We'll leave it off because we haven't any trouble. But welcome, Scott. He says, retired computer technician. I don't use software to remove files. And I normally don't either. I'll uninstall programs from client computers without using Revo uninstaller, but for my computers, because the way that people around here know what I do is I will install things and then try them out and uninstall them. So I'm getting concerned about the amount of clutter around here. And when you uninstall a program, it typically leaves registry entries and files on your computer. And with Revo uninstaller and the other uninstallers, I'm sure, yeah, as I understand it, they'll use the uninstaller that comes from the software manufacturer, but then they will go search for other things that are related to that software and display them so that you can choose whether to uninstall them or remove them. And I found that they were very clearly identified as registry entries and files that were for that program. So I don't typically do it on client computers, but on my computers, I'm kind of even toying around with using an installed version. So anyway, welcome around here, Scott. Hope to see more of you. All right. Let's go back and look more at that PC Manager. I am not familiar with it. I've opened it a couple times and kind of looked around a little bit and kind of found it a snoozer. Disk cleanup, implying that it can get rid of. No, it's saying I have 391 in use of 1 terabyte on my C drive. So do disk cleanup to do a cleanup. And I'm kind of reluctant to do that because I don't trust cleanups very much. And this boost, it seems to me, my impression in the past has been that these kinds of programs will show a lot of stuff that they claim to do, but I'm not very convinced. I guess.
Well, this is a Microsoft program.
Pardon?
This is a Microsoft program.
Yeah, it's a Microsoft program, but so it's going to delete a bunch of temporary files. Well, temporary files are just going to come back again.
Partially agree, partially disagree. A lot of programmers don't do what they're supposed to do and leave a lot of crap out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get rid of temporaries. We'll also look at it. We'll go into what we monitor, but I have seen programmers, and the real stupid thing is they'll say, "Oh, is this file here? Well, let's make a new file." So they'll keep adding. They won't reuse the old file. And I mean, there's a lot of really, really bad programmers in America, in the world.
Well, it seems if anybody's computer has the potential of showing improvement by virtue of doing that, it should be Big Beast build because it's
I'm
got
not
a
even
lot of
saying
clutter.
improvement. I personally, I don't like to see stuff hanging around that's not being in use because you don't know what was put there for why. And it may say, "Oh, let's delete program files to make up a directory name, folder name," and it may delete it when you're using it for something else next week. Another program may use the same name in a temp file. You don't know. I mean, there's no law saying I can't use a temp file called Doug and you use one called Doug. What does it do? Who knows?
I want to go address something here, Lundog. I'm not comfortable with the way this comes across, particularly to new people. This sounds a little bit preachy, telling somebody, listen to the input you're getting from other people and other technicians. That is not a very friendly, welcoming way to speak to people. I know you don't mean it that way, but I want you to kind of really consider that. That comes across a little bit harsh. I think as a technician, you might understand what I'm getting at. I have to admit that I don't have all this context, but anyway.
Doug, not to interrupt, but actually I want to clarify if it was misunderstood. I actually agreed with what Scott was saying. We programmatically, but programs that we have written, go through and examine and delete. So yes, I do agree with deleting it. And we do use programs. I mean.
Okay, thank you. Well, it is 1 o'clock. This has been going on for 2 hours. I'd like to put this to bed. Gary, you often come in with a few topics that you want to deal. Do you have anything really burning that you want to get out?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing today.
Thank you.
Actually, I'll do one quick comment. I apologize. One quick comment. Yeah, there goes Jim.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say, I want to be delicate, and I'm serious though. YouTube is worldwide, as we know.
Yeah.
And I would take any topic without being whatever. What, well, no, let's get off of YouTube. I at one point sold parts for cars for the OB onboard diagnostic thing, chips. I couldn't sell them in California because you have the California Air Research Board. But yet I could sell them in 49 states legally. So even though it sounds the same, it's different in one state. To heck with one country.
Oh, right.
So you may have the ability, I can sell that there, but I can't sell it for you driving on the road. Still the same. Oh, you can sell whatever you want here, but you can't use it there. I'm not getting any, getting something that's very easy, but so if you looked at what I posted, that was actually the law, which had criminal penalties. So YouTube may say,
right,
let's deal with it.
Yeah.
I won't even look at it.
Certainly possible.
Okay, that's it. No big deal.
All right, I'm going to keep Zoom open for a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube show. And thank you, everybody, for participating, playing the home game of computer technicians. And yeah, what more can I say? I appreciate you coming around, and particularly so regular. And go find something else to watch on YouTube. So rather than just leaving, okay, I'm going to do a little piece here. There, that's got that. Here's the email address that you can send questions to. We're here 6 days a week, Monday through Friday. Starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Saturdays, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And yeah, that's good. So that's all, folks.
That's all, folks.